Testing 1, 2. Okay, it's working. Oh, thank you. How's everybody doing? I got prizes. Y'all like football, basketball, any of that? I got prizes. I got fidgets. You know what a fidget is? Okay, so we're already on a good track. Real quick, you might not know it yet, but at some point when you're in your career, you're going to be a part of a project like this, a conference like this, and it takes a lot of work to make today happen. So for everybody that participated to make this thing happen, can we give them some love? Give them a round of applause. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And speaking of a big deal, you all did not have to be here today. You made the choice. There might have been incentives. Somebody might have gave you that friendly nudge. But there are an unlimited amount of excuses, and you could have picked one to not be here today. But you decided. So give yourself some love. Give yourself some love. Come on now. You got to give yourself more love than that. You made a big deal. Come on now. Thank you. I'm going to keep doing this, so if I fall off the stage, anybody certified in CPR first aid? All y'all going to come help me. Okay, look. My name is Curtis Campogni. Just to break it down for you real quick, I have 4 pictures up there to tell you who I am. The first one is me at 16 years old. Oh, my goodness. I'm 37 now, so what is that? What's the math? 21? Who said that? Get a prize, 21. I didn't even know the own answer. Stress ball emoji. Check it out. Who else said 21? Who said it? Oh, I can't throw. You gonna have me looking crazy up here trying to throw a ball that far. Come get you one, whatever you want. But look, that first picture was when I got my driver's license at 16. And does anybody else have their driver's license or learner's permit, anything like that? Cool. So for those that don't know what happens if you take a written test and then you take a driver's test where you have somebody in the car that's watching you and judging you and deciding if you're going to pass or fail, right? So when I got in the car and I met this young lady, I noticed that her vibe was off. She was you could tell her mood wasn't right. So I asked her, I said, hey, how you doing? She's like, kind of gave one of those, right? So I said, you know what, let me ask the question. I said, what is it like working in this job? What is it like working as a driver's ed instructor? What's that like? And she started telling me that the reason she got into this job in this field is because she wanted to help young people. When they got their driver's license and they got that independence, that made her happy. But then she also told me that it's been a really hard couple weeks. She was going through stuff personally. A couple young people kind of were disrespectful to her. It's been a rough day, a rough week, a rough month. So knowing that information, I took it upon myself to be extra kind, extra respectful. Not to say I wouldn't have normally, but she was going through something. And the whole time I was talking with her, I was learning about her. All because I decided to ask that question. And I passed. Now, I'm not going to say I only passed because I was nice and I answered that question, but I'm going to tell you I did not drive perfectly that day. But I like to think that played a role, right? I asked the right question. That second picture right there, that's me and why that guy looks so happy. I was a case manager helping young people get jobs, get into school, work with a lot of young people on probation, and that was the job I always wanted. That's why I'm so happy in that picture. And the other reason I'm so happy in that picture is because I was not a good student. Skipped a lot, got in fights a lot, missed a lot of class, so much so that when I was in my junior year, they called me in the office and they said, hey, we got to be honest with you. There's no way you're graduating. They said your only shot is if you drop out now and get your GED. So I got my GED. So I got my GED, and after I got my GED, I tried college, didn't work. Tried trade school, didn't work. Bounced from job to job, didn't work. I didn't know what I was doing. Until eventually I said, you know what, I'm going to ask my mentor. This person I really respect, this person that I knew I could trust. Anybody else have a mentor in here? And I asked my mentor, I said, what do you think? What do you think are my strengths? What do you think I should do? And he directed me towards an assessment that showed me that I really had a passion where I wanted to help young people. So I ended up getting my degree in psychology, went back to college, made it happen, and that's why that gentleman in that picture is so happy. And that last one, it wasn't about asking the right questions. It was asking myself the hard questions. I said, what do I want my life to look like 6 months from now? Best case scenario, what does success look like for me 1 year from now? And when I asked myself those questions, what I realized is that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and start my own business, speak for MC, speak for motivating change. And that's why I'm here today. And that's why this clicker should be working. Boom. And that's why we are here. That's why we are here. If you notice in every one of those pictures, it required me to have to ask a question. It required me to want to have a desire to learn and get knowledge. In every one of those situations, I had to lend an ear. I had to ask the right question. So today we're going to talk about what that looks like. We're going to talk about why questions run the world. But since I just talked about me, I need to figure out, who I got in this room. So let's do a quick would you rather. Option A, actually everybody stand up for me. Everybody stand up for me. Everybody stand up for me. Oh, we're going to get a workout today. Hope you skip leg day. All right, so I'm going to give you option A and option B. If you're option A, you're going to sit down. If you're option B, you're going to stay standing. And we're just going to learn about each other real quick. So the first one, would you rather be a professional athlete or a professional musician? If you'd rather be a professional athlete, go ahead and sit down. Look at all our musicians in the room. Who wants to come here and do some karaoke? I'll just play it. Look, you're all in it. All right, everybody stand up again for me. Stand up again for me. Let's try another one. Would you rather work in a job you hate but make a lot of money, or work in a job you love but make average money? So if you rather do option A, go ahead and take a seat for me. Appreciate y'all keeping it real, though. A lot of people in this room want to work in their passions and purpose. I love that. Stand up for me again. Let's do another one. Would you rather vacation on the beach, go take a nice vacation, all expenses paid on the beach, or an all expenses in the mountains? Sit down if you're at the beach. We got a split room on everything. If y'all standing, you do know there are bears in the mountains, right? You know, I just learned the other day a bear can run 30 miles an hour. Oh, no, you're going to sit down. 30 miles an hour, and they can climb. All right, so let's do our last one. Last one, stand back up for me, last one. Would you rather go to college for 4 years or trade school for 1? Sit down if it's college. Stay standing if it's trade school. Ooh, we got a lot of college graduates. Both options, by the way, you can make 6 figures. Both options, by the way, you can follow your passions. Both options, you can be successful. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do last person standing. Stand back up. The last person standing is going to get a prize. I'm going to try to eliminate some people. So what happens is I'm going to put something on the screen. If it applies to you, stay standing. If it does not apply to you, take a seat. All right? So first one, born and raised in Florida. If you were born and raised in Florida, stay standing. Oh, wow. Where are you from? Alabama? All right, stay standing. What about if you've been on a job interview, stay standing? So that means if you've never been on a job interview, sit down. So we still got a lot of people standing. All right, a lot of people. What about this one? Held a part or full-time job. If you've held a part or full-time job, stay standing. If not, take a seat. Oh, I got to eliminate some people here. I know which one I was going to go. Been a Buccaneers game. Have you been to a Buccaneers game? Stay standing. Y'all Buccaneer fans? I'm not going to get off track. I'm die hard. All right, here, let's do another one. Been on a college or trade school tour. Stay standing if you've been on a college or trade school tour. I got to eliminate some people. Hold on. What about this one? Have a mentor. Stay standing. Sit down if you don't. Sit down if you don't. Okay. I know how I'm going to be able to eliminate. You been skydiving, scuba diving, or bungee jumping? You went skydiving, scuba diving? Come get a prize. Skydiving, scuba diving, bungee. If you're still standing, come get a prize. Give them a round of applause for defying death. Which one did you do? Scuba diving? We got a brave room. You know I went skydiving before? Real quick story. This is how petty I am. You know why? Because when I was a teenager, I went with my friends to Busch Gardens, and they wanted me to go on a roller coaster with them, and I told them I didn't want to because I get nauseous, and they started clowning me. Oh, you weak. So you know what I did? First day I turned 18, went skydiving. So then next time we went to Busch Gardens, they said, you soft, you weak. I said, let me show you this picture. That's me above the clouds. How y'all doing? So, yeah. Probably not the best reason, but I digress. All right, let's talk about what we're here. We're talking about questions. Questions run the world. Very first quote, knowledge is power. And I'm going to fall off this thing. Let me read that quote. What does that quote say? The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. When you hear that quote, what do you think that means? What do you think that means? The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. What do you think that means? Yell it at me. What do you think that means? No one can take your knowledge. Yes? No one can take your knowledge. Yes? Same thing. Who else? What's that mean? You said, what'd you say? Only you could limit yourself. Come grab yourself something. Only you can limit yourself. Check it out. Here's the thing. There are a lot of things in life that you can get taken from you. I mean, you don't pay your taxes, the IRS can take your money. And I don't mean to laugh, but I'm dealing with, trying to figure out the financials of my own business. You don't pay your mortgage, your bank can take your house. You can lose your wallet. There's a lot of things you can lose, but the one thing no one can ever take from you are the lessons you learn, the knowledge you get. You get your high school diploma, no matter what happens to you, no one can ever take that from you. You get your GED, no one can ever take that from you. You get a trade, no one can ever take that from you. You get your college degree, no one can ever take that from you. Think about that. All the things you can lose, but they cannot take the lessons you learn and the knowledge you gain. If you go on a job interview next week and you don't get the job, but you decide to learn from that experience, that lesson is yours always. And that lesson will put you in a better position to get that job the next time. Every opportunity, you got to make a choice. Do I want to learn from this situation? And then what do I want to do from that knowledge? And if you use that knowledge and that information, no one can take that from you. That is your superpower. That is what will elevate you, and that's what we're going to talk about. And the best way to do that, and we talked about this a little bit, the best way to do that is to ask the right questions. I know they say there are no dumb questions, which I agree, but there are levels to these questions. Some will get you more knowledge and more information and more experience. Others might not. What animal is that? There was this guy named Francisco. He would travel all across the world to help villages that had food shortages, and he would help them plant gardens, fruits, and vegetables, right? So he went to this one in Cambodia, and this village was on a perfect spot on a riverbank. Perfect spot to plant a garden. And he's like, why aren't they doing it? Are they lazy? They don't know how? What's their issue? So he hired a bunch of people. He planted the garden. The garden looks amazing. There's fruit, there's vegetables. Everything's great. And then one morning he wakes up and everything is gone. And he is freaking out. So he goes to one of the villagers. He's like, what happened to the garden? What happened to the fruits? What happened to the vegetables? Where is everything? And the villager said in a very calm tone, it was the hippos. And the guy said, the hippos? What are you talking about? And the villager said, well, anytime we plant a garden, anytime we get a nice garden going with fruits and vegetables, in the middle of the night, the hippos come and they eat everything. And the guy said, well, why didn't you tell me that before we planted this garden? What do you think the villager said? You did not ask. He jumped in. He assumed. He was working on limited knowledge and limited information. Right? And this was a smart guy. But he did not ask the right questions. So what the right questions are, is anybody familiar with an open-ended question versus a closed-ended question? And I usually train this with adults, so I'm going to give you some high-level stuff right here that they're going to be like, what? What's an open-ended question? You raise your hand. What is it? It's a question that requires more than just a yes or no. So a closed-ended question is like, did you drive here today? Yes, no. Do you have a job? Yes, no. Tell me about your morning. What was it like the first interview you've been on? Describe your perfect job. Those are open-ended questions. The open-ended question will get you more information, more knowledge, and the more information you have, the better you have ability to move and proceed and know what direction to take. Open-ended questions are the key. And I'll give you an example of these. All of these stems here, all of these sentences will change any yes or no question. And by the way, I'm about to do a competition on this. All of these will change any yes or no question to an open question. Right? So if I said, do you like the Bucks? Yes, no, I don't know. Yes, thank you. I might say, what are your thoughts on the Bucks? Might get a little more information, right? Well, they're cool. I went to one game, but I don't really watch football. More information. What if I said, tell me about the Bucks? What are your views on the Bucks? How do we ensure you become a Bucks fan? Whoever said they're not. But we are changing a yes or no question that'll give you limited information to an open-ended question that'll give you more. Does it make sense? You with me? I'll give you an example of this. So here it is, can I have a raise? That is a yes or no question. And we're not going to learn too much about that. They're going to say yes or they're going to say no. How can we change that question to get more information? Anybody want to take a guess? Yeah. What do I got to do to get a raise? That's a good one. How can I earn a higher salary with this organization? You don't want to put all your ability to make more money in the answer of one yes or no of one person. Get more knowledge, get more information. How can I earn a higher salary with this organization? That information they give you is going to put you in a better position to do the things that make more money. Make sense? You see how it's changed from yes or no to open? What about, do you offer time off? Everybody, when they work somewhere, you get PTO, you get time off. Everybody wants to go on a vacation every once in a while. How can you change that? Do you offer time off to a question that's going to get more information? Say it again for me. How much time off is available? What about this? What is the time off policy with this company? I want to learn what this organization, when I'm on an interview, right? And at the end of the interview, they say, what questions do you have for me? What's the time off policy? Get more information and knowledge on the front end. That's going to put you in a better position to know what decisions to make when the time comes. What about this one? Can you take $500 off the price? Let's imagine you're buying a car. Hey, can you take $500 off? They're going to be like, no, yes, I don't know. I want more information. Well, how can you change that to an open question? Almost. That could still be yes or no. By the way, thank you for standing up and saying that loud. Give him a round of applause, please, for volunteering. What about, how can we get this price within my budget? How can we get this price within my budget? This is a true story. Because when I asked this question when I bought my first car, you know what I learned? at the end of the month, they have a quota to meet where they got to sell more cars. So they're going to be more likely to negotiate with me and get the price what I want if I come back at the end of the month. If I would not have learned that information if I only said, can you take $500 off? They would say yes or no. But because I changed that question to more, I learned more information, and that knowledge, that information allowed me to get the thing I wanted. You see what I'm saying? You with me? So who's going to be the first brave team to come up to the front? I need 4 people. I need 4 people up to the front for a quick competition. Any 4. Come on up. 1, 2, 3. I got 4 over here. I'm going to get y'all next because I got another one right after this. 4 over here. Give them a round of applause for volunteering. Who wants to be the one to ask the tough questions? Because you're going to have a microphone too. Come on up to the stage, up to the stage, up to the stage. Actually, I'm lying. 3 off the stage, 1 stay on the stage. 3 off, 1 on. Oh, all right. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, here you go. So this is what we're just going to do a practice so you know what I'm saying, so then the next group knows what to go. Who is that? So what's going to happen is you're going to be over here and you're going to face her. So come out here. You're going to face her. You're not going to be able to see who's on the screen. Come here and face her. You're not going to be able to see who's on the screen. And what I want you to do is ask an open question that you would ask him. You each get 1, and if you could guess who's on that screen, you win, you get a prize. So what would be a question you would ask the rock that's open? Can't be yes or no. Any 3 y'all can jump in. What was your highest paying movie? Okay, that might give you a little information. Still might be hard to guess. What's another one?
Who was your favorite coworker to work with?
Maybe. That's kind of one-word answer. Let's open it a little more. We'll get another one. Somebody else help. What would be a question you would ask the rock that's open? What is that? Why'd you become a wrestler? That's a great question. That tells you it's a wrestler, right? Let's try it. All right, you ready? Let's do our first one. Let's see what we got. So step back so you can't see the screen. Can't see the screen. No, I'm going to put another one up here. All right, ready? Oh, no, you can't look.
I can't see from here anyway.
Did you see? All right, take a step back. All right, so ask an open question into the mic. You cannot say his name, and you try to keep it business-related, somewhat career-related, stuff like that. All right, go ahead.
What inspired you to make music?
What inspired you to make music? So what's that tell you? Okay. That's a great question, by the way. Yeah.
What's your most popular song?
What's your most popular song? So that tells you that it's a popular artist. Okay.
What musician started what you have done today for you?
Okay. So that somebody might have influenced this person. You got another one? No. No? Here. Somebody got a good one? Who got a good one? I'll come right back to you.
How was it to be in the Young Money crew?
Ooh. You go.
How long did you work with Nicki Minaj?
Ooh. You got it yet?
What was it like working with Drake?
Ooh. All right, here you got.
What was it like to work with Birdman?
You heard that?
What was it like to work with Birdman?
What was it like to work with Birdman? You got it? No, I don't. All right, give her a round of applause anyways. It's okay. All right. It's Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is out here. All right, hey, grab yourself something out the box just for trying. Can I get another team of 4? Come on up. I think I pointed over it on this side. Come on up. Let's go. What inspired you to make? That's a great question. What inspired you to make music? All right, who wants to be the guesser? I need 3 people down here and 1 on the stage. 3 people on here, 1 on the stage. You notice how the questions that are more open is like, that gives you more window, more information. All right, who we got? We got 3 here, 1 here. Are you participating too? All right, face this way. Face the gentleman there. All right, you ready? You know what to do? Well, hey, no, everybody. We just had this conversation. That should give you a hint that they're salty. All right. You ready? Open question.
What's it like being a Buccaneer?
What's it like being a Buccaneer?
What's it like being one of the most recognized players for your position?
Ooh, most recognized.
How do you throw that far?
How do you throw that far?
What is your thoughts on your trade-off from the Patriots to the Bucs?
Ooh, that's a good question. What are your thoughts? Who do you think it is? Tom Brady. Give him a round of applause. Go ahead and grab yourself a prize out of there. Grab yourself a prize. You're good to go. Good job. There's so much. You know, a high salt diet is bad for your health. So y'all need to just show some love to the Buccaneers. We're in Tampa. All right, can I get one more group? One more team wants to try? Come on up. 1, 2. Come on up. Let me get one on the stage. One on the stage. One on the stage. One on the stage. Everybody else face the person on the stage. Come on up. Where you going? You're already up here. Might as well join the crew. We're gonna do 5. All right, last one. Take a step back for me. All right, open question. Open question. Yes.
What was your presidency? How did you enjoy your presidency?
How did you enjoy your presidency? That's a good open question. There you go.
Can I come back later?
Can I come back later is the closed question.
What's it like being the first black president?
Barack Obama. That's a great question. Get a prize. Good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right. For time, we're going to move past this. What would you ask him? Why'd you buy Twitter? He said like $8 billion. That's Elon Musk. What about this one? What would you ask him? Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. That's salt again. All right. So the very first part was ask the right questions. You with me on that? Make sense? The right questions get you the right information, and that gives you the lessons you need to be able to overcome whatever adversity you face. Here's the next part. We said ask the right questions, but it's not just about asking the right questions. It's about questioning everything. Right? Because you can ask the right question, but what if the information is not accurate? You got to, especially in this day in social media, a good example is look at Abraham Lincoln, what he said. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Don't lie. I know some people were like, what? That's awesome. Abraham Lincoln. Was he alive during the internet? No. Just because you put something next to somebody's face does not mean they said it. Just because it's posted online does not mean it's true. Knowledge isn't about just believing the first thing you hear. It's about verifying if that information is accurate, seeking multiple perspectives, learning. That's what knowledge is, right? So we got to question everything. I'm going to give you an example here. I'm going to put a sentence on the screen. Actually, before I do that, let's just read it together. Forever friends are the result of many years of focusing on trust and respect. A group of 55 friends you can't trust are not as strong as a group of 5 who are loyal. That's the sentence. So what I would like you to do, I'm going to put that sentence back on the screen. All I want you to do is count the number of F's that are in that sentence. That's it. Well, don't count now. Well, you're a fast reader. All I want you to do, does that make sense? You know letter F? I just want you to count how many are in the sentence. It's not a trick, just count the F's. I'm only going to give you about 10 seconds. I want you to try your best. You ready? Count the number of F's, please. Count the number of F's in that sentence, please. I'm giving y'all a lot of time, too. I usually don't get that much time. All right. I usually don't get that much time. If there was a total of 6 F's, raise your hand. Okay, maybe one. If there was a total of 7 F's, raise your hand. Got a few. If there were a total of 8 F's, raise your hand. Hey, think about that for a second. We are all looking at the same thing, yet we are all seeing things just a little different. That's why we question, how about 9 F's? Okay. 10 F's? Oh. 11 F's? More. 12 F's? More. 13 F's? So the maximum was 12. I'm going to ask you the same question. How in the world are we getting different answers if we're all looking at the same sentence? Oh, we can't see? Maybe. Go ahead and count them up there. How many we got up there? There are 12 F's. There are 12 F's. He said that's embarrassing. I'm going to tell you right now, do not be embarrassed. I do this same thing. I do this same thing with individuals that have master's and doctorate degrees, and they get it wrong. You know why they get it wrong? You want to know why? Our brain is designed to process information as quickly as possible. So what I mean by that, we might see the first of, but then sometimes we miss the second. We might see the word 50, catch one F, but miss the second. And the reason for that is your brain is trying to move so quick. And then you have assumptions. I already seen it, so there must not be any more. Or I know there's 8, so I don't look for 9. That's how your brain is designed. And that's why it's so important that we have to question what we see, verify our information, get more learning, right? Because we all looked at the same thing. And we all saw things just a little different. We all have blind spots. Nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything and sees everything clear. The most intelligent people, they seek out multiple perspectives. They challenge their ideas and they get more information. That's why they're successful. You with me? Does everybody see all the F's now? No? If it makes you feel any better, I did this before, and someone said they saw 0 F's. No lie. The other thing I kind of did to mess with you is I put 1 to 10 there. And just for a little tip for you, what that's called is called anchoring. So when you go to a car dealership and you buy a car, you know how they put the price on the windshield? It's because they're anchoring that price. So you think if you get less than it, you got a good deal. Because it's less than what they put. But the question is, why did they put that price? They're putting that there so you think that's the starting point. That's why before you go, you do your own research. You find out what that car is worth, how many miles it has on it, what the value is. You just don't believe because you see it. You with me? Make sense? Get your information. Get your knowledge. So question everything. I'll give you another example here. Let's do some true or false. Bulls get angry when they see the color red. Is that true or false? How do y'all know that? I just learned that the other day. Bulls are colorblind. Yes. They get mad because of the movement. I just learned. I was like, what? Then why they always got the red? They tricked me. What about this one? We only use 10% of our brain. Hollywood has tried to trick us to think that's accurate. We actually use 100% of our brain. 100%. We do not just use 10%. That is not true. What about this one? Who you are now is who you will be 1 year from now. Thank you. Every choice you make, every decision from right now to a year from now will shape and mold you to be who you are. Every single choice matters. You will be a different person, and that person will be all dependent on the choices you make. What about this one? People can only put information that's true on the internet. Wikipedia. You mean that Abraham Lincoln didn't say that? All right. Thank you. What about this one? Some people are better multitaskers than others. That's false. You know why? You cannot multitask. You think you do. So they actually showed the brain in the MRI, and what's happening is we are switching quickly to different tasks, but we are incapable of focusing on two tasks at the same time. You're switching. So when you're texting, and you're like, oh, I got my eyes on the road, I'm good. If you're texting, you're texting. If you're driving, you're driving. If you're on the radio, you think, oh, I'm good. If you're on the radio, you're on the radio. You're not on the road. That's science. They did the studies. We can't multitask. We cannot multitask. We side switch. What about this one? The most successful people do it all on their own. If anyone tells you that, they're lying. I'm sorry. No one succeeds on an island. Everyone needs someone at some point to help open a door, give an opportunity, lend an ear, be a mentor. If you don't have that person in your life, seek that person out. Seek that person out. What about this last one? When people say you won't succeed, they are right. That's absolutely false. No one dictates your future. I know you heard it before, but it's true. It's on you, the choices you make, the people you reach out to, the opportunities that you take advantage of while here. But if someone tells you that you can't succeed, smile, appreciate your feedback, and you'll show them later. All right? You good? Let's wrap here. I'll give you an example. The reason I put that one up here is because of these four right here that really stood out to me. These are four different people who were told they would not succeed. That first one was fired from her first TV job as an anchor because she was told she would not have a future in TV. Oprah Winfrey, a billionaire. They told her she would not have a future in TV. What? What about this one? Oops, I clicked it. Was fired because he was told that he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. What's that? Not Dr. Walt Disney. They fired Walt Disney because he lacked imagination. Y'all know what he created? What? What about this guy? His first book, one of his most popular, was rejected 30 times. 30 different places told him, you can't write. That was actually Stephen King. And then this gentleman here was cut from his high school team. Michael Jordan. They cut Michael Jordan from the basketball team. Every one of these situations, someone told these people that they could not succeed, that they did not have a future in this field, and every single one was wrong. And not only were they wrong, they were way wrong. Right? So when someone tells you that, appreciate your feedback, I'll see you later. And prove it to them later. So that's how we're going to wrap up. The very last thing is you got to ask yourself the hard questions. You got to ask yourself the hard questions. Where do I want to be 6 months from now? What will it take to get there? What has to happen for me to be successful? So what I want you to do is think for a second of a goal that you have. There are some common ones people usually say. I want to save money. I want to get a job. I want to get healthier. Think of a goal that you have that you want to work on over the next 6 months. I'm going to be silent for a second. Just think about that. While we're waiting, does anybody want to share theirs out loud? Yes. Yeah. You want to open your own business? An entrepreneur in the building. Yeah. I like that. 6 months from now? Who else? Yes. You want to start your nursing program. We need nurses these days, too. Good for you. I love that. Give her a round of applause. Anybody else want to share theirs? Yeah, yell it for me. Say it again. Get an internship at the Florida Choir. I love that, yeah. I love that goal. Does everybody got theirs in their head? Anybody else want one more share? What you have? Yes. Keep my LLC, yeah. I love the entrepreneurs in the building. All right, next thing I want you to do. Next thing I want you to do is I want you to pick one value that's on this sheet that's going to help you reach that goal. One value. For instance, for me, when I started my own business, I probably would have said confidence. I'm going to need to maintain my confidence. When I got my first job, it was family. I wanted to make my mom proud, right? So what I want you to do is pick one value up here that's going to help you reach that goal 6 months from now. So go ahead and think about that. I want you to remember both those things. Pick one value. And while we're waiting, does somebody want to share what theirs is? Yes. Friendship. I like that. Positive peers around. Yes. Family. Make family proud. Yes. Trust. Oh, that's a big one. To get that goal, trust is what? Control. That value of control. Yes, yell it for me. Patience. It's not up there, but that's an important one. The patience to let things roll as they will. Everything doesn't have to happen at once. It's a grind. I like that. Yes. Responsibility. Woo, yeah, give responsibility some love. And then I saw one last hand over here. What is it? Hospitality. Ooh, I like that. I saw another hand over here. Creativity. Need that. Yes. Accountability. Love that. What is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on one second. It's okay. Go ahead. Endurance. Love it. Perseverance. Yeah. And by the way, all our behavior is a result of these. We make our decisions based off the things that are most important to us, the values that mean the most to us. So when things get really hard, and you're thinking about giving up on that goal, what value did you say would keep you going? And it will. So on that note, we talked about you can have your phones out. Did anybody know what this thing is on the screen? I just made my very first one. What I would like you to do, scan that QR code. It's going to take you to a website where I want you to write a newspaper headline. Imagine 6 months from now, somebody writes a newspaper article about how you did with that goal. What would the headline of that article be? Right? So if you wanted to be a nurse, 6 months from now, they write an article about your journey to be a nurse. What would the name of that article be? Because that article is going to be your finish line. So what happens is when you scan that QR code, type in what your article would be, and then it's going to ask you to pick that one value, put it in there. And 6 months from now, the team here is going to reach out to you and ask you, how close is that newspaper article to what actually happened with your goal? Does that make sense? You with me? So the newspaper article I would want of this would be, young people from Career Source event achieve knowledge, power, and success. That's what I hoped. That's the newspaper article I wrote for myself before I came here today. I think we were in line with that. Does that make sense? Scan the QR code. I'm going to give you 1 minute to type that in, and then we're going to wrap it up. While we're waiting, does anybody want to share what their newspaper article would be? Anybody want to share? I know it takes a little thinking. Yell it for me. It's all good. By the way, I had stuff to give out, and I barely give anything out. Anybody want to share? You get a stress ball, emoji stress ball? Back there? What's yours? Come on up for me. Come up for me and say it on the mic. Give her a round of applause. 6 months from now, they write an article about how you did with that goal. What would the name of that article be? What would the name of that article be? Here you go. Say it loud, say it proud in there for us. What's your name? Talea, go ahead.
My thing was to become an honor student in college.
Talea becomes an honor student in college. Give her a round of applause. Love that. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, come on up for me real quick. Who's the one? I'll meet you halfway. What's your name? Savannah. What's that newspaper article going to be, Savannah?
To start making a website for a business I'm starting for mental health awareness.
Savannah makes a successful website for mental health awareness. Love that. Good job, Savannah. All right, young people, we're going to end there. I want to say I appreciate you for giving me your attention for almost an hour. You get knowledge by asking the right questions. We question everything, and then you ask yourself the hard questions. You do that, you will get the knowledge, the lessons you need, and you will overcome that adversity. I appreciate you listening to me. Good luck out there, young people.